it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be, oh my god, my BB-8 is in the background of this entire intro clip. Where was I? Oh yeah, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my new makeup releases, favorites, and fails for September. So if you're new to this series, which is my favorite series on my channel, it's basically just where I go through a bunch of new products that I've been trying out during the month of September and just give you guys my consolidated final reviews on them. I think it's a really good way to get in all the reviews for the month, show you guys all the new releases or new-ish releases, just stuff I've been trying out lately, I guess, and then just share what I think about each product with you guys. This month, I actually don't have like a ton of products. I have 11, usually I have like 14, 15. So not a huge decrease, but I've been trying out less makeup this month and really just trying to focus on what I have. That being said though, I have been trying out quite a few new things as well, so I want to share my reviews with you guys. And at first I was like, oh my god, 11 products, it's probably gonna be a shorter video, but then I realized, no, I'm probably just going to talk way too long about each product as I normally do. So it's probably gonna be normal length. This month was quite eyeshadow heavy, particularly indie palettes and like more, I guess, more popular indie brands, but still indie brands. We've also got a few like big new makeup releases as well from bigger brands. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I think it's a good healthy mix of products and I'm actually really excited about all these things. So without further ado, let's get right into the video that I've been plugging all month. First, I'm going to start off with probably the prettiest palette I've seen in a long time, which is the Nabla Cosmetics Soul Blooming palette. Nabla is a European indie brand, I guess, or maybe not indie. They're a really big brand in Europe, but here I guess they're a little bit more fringe. A couple months ago, I reviewed the Dreamy palette and I really enjoyed it. This is one of the best like formulas. I love the color scheme in here. It's just a really great palette. I was very impressed with this one, but I was kind of wary about picking up Soul Blooming just because one of my favorite YouTubers, Jkissa, didn't really like this one. She said it wasn't the same quality as the Dreamy palette, so I was a little bit nervous, but I still decided to pick it up because like, there's a ladybug on the front that made the entire palette worth it, honestly. You're getting a nice big mirror in here as well as these beautiful colors. It's a very spring toned color scheme, but like there are no rules to makeup. You can wear whatever you want. I am actually wearing a few shades in this palette on my eyes today. I've got Bolero on in my crease, Climbing Rose and Garden Gate on my lid, and then Honey Drip in the inner corner. So most of the eye look that I'm wearing is comprised of this palette with one other palette that I'm going to show you guys later in the video. But I like this a lot. Like I actually have been reaching for this a little bit more often than the Dreamy palette just because this one has more like light tone, spring tone. So whenever I'm going for like my everyday makeup look, which is very neutral and not anything like what I'm wearing right now, I will go for this one because there's some really nice soft colors in here and just a lot of neutrals. Admittedly, if you covered up like these three shades, it's not really the most unique palette, but I think the formula itself is what makes it so special. I've said it before, Nabla Cosmetics makes like one of the best formulas I've ever tried. The mattes are like stupidly soft and like creamy. Just this beautiful dimethicone filled texture. You can tell that they have a lot of like nice smoothing ingredients in there, so it applies very smoothly. It's one of the easiest formulas to blend I've ever tried, but they don't have that powderiness that like Anastasia shadows have, so I feel like it's a bit easier to work with. This peachy pink shade Bolero here, it took like maybe a minute tops to blend out in my crease, and normally I can spend like 2 to 3 minutes blending a good shade just because I like to be extra careful. So this is very fast to blend. Just one of the best matte formulas I've ever tried. So I am planning on doing that like top 10 favorite eyeshadow formulas video. This will be in there. The shimmers are really lovely. They do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 standard shimmers in here, and then Honey Drip is a very unique kind of like weird textured shadow formula, kind of like the Huda Beauty textured shadows, but better. The standard shimmers are really pretty, not quite as like foiled as the Anastasia shimmers. Again, I'm sorry, I just compare every shadow to Anastasia, but just like really beautiful. Anemone here is gorgeous on the eyes. You can kind of blend it out, and it can act as a like lid shade as well if you really finesse it. And then Garden Gate is probably my favorite shade in the palette besides Flowery. Beautiful like periwinkle blue, but the entire color scheme is like, Honey Drip is super unique. This is the one that Jkissa like really hated, so I was very nervous about this one, but it's kind of chunky. I will admit that it's a very chunky, very glittery shadow, so if that's not your thing, definitely not gonna be your palette. But it has this beautiful like white gold shift. It looks white in the pan, but it has this like honey shift, as the name Honey Drip would suggest, so it kind of looks shifty,
no shit,
and beautiful and like sunny on the eyes, I guess. I think in terms of the Nabla palettes, I still, you know what? They're equal. I don't have to pick one. They're both tied. I really enjoyed both of them, and I'm very glad that I bought this one. So thank you to the people who were like, no, still buy Soul Blooming anyways. It cost me a bit of money and a bit of shipping, but I really like it. Also, let me know if you want to see me use this in the Get Ready With Me. I didn't use it this month in the Get Ready With Me just because I had a couple other things I wanted to try out, but I would love to use it this month, so let me know. Next, I want to share my thoughts on the new NYX Cosmetics Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. I used this one in the last video I posted, the Get Ready With Me, so this one you can see how it performed on my face, and I'm wearing it today actually. My final thoughts on this are It's marketed as the full coverage matte foundation. It's definitely matte. It's not full coverage by any means. So if you like medium coverage foundations and you're wanting something that's going to be matte, I think this is your awesome foundation. But for me, I want it to be full coverage just because that's what it said on the bottle. It says that it wears up to 24 hours. I haven't tested that. I'm not planning on testing that. I'm not in a good enough place with my skin where I feel like I would be able to do that. I'm just saying that because I know that like Nikkietutorials and Tarte have been doing those like 24-hour makeup tests, which sounds rough.
Choices.
It definitely is long wearing. I've worn it from like 5:30 in the morning to when I put it on, and then like around 4 o'clock when I come home and take it off after classes. So that's pretty much 11 hours of wear. Very long wear test, and it held up pretty well. I would say it's like a solid 7 out of 10. That's a C, passing grade. It's good. Not anything special to me personally, and it's $15, so that's a bit more expensive as drugstore foundations go. You are getting a glass bottle and you're getting a full ounce. So yeah, that's my final review. You can decide if you want it or not for your skin type. I think it'd be good for anywhere from like normal to oily skin. I do want to give them huge props for having an amazing shade range. 45 shades is a butt ton, even more than Fenty, and just very happy to see that, especially with a drugstore brand. Normally, they're just not the most inclusive. So one of the most exciting things that I was personally very, very excited to try out this month was the Beaute Paradise Fallen palette. Beaute is an indie brand. I believe they do eyelashes as well, but they came out with a collection of 4 like Paradise palettes. I bought the Paradise Fallen palette. I didn't buy the entire collection just because A, I felt like there were 2 palettes in the collection I really didn't like need that weren't super unique to my collection, and then B, I ain't rolling in money. After trying this palette out, I actually did go ahead and buy the Classical Paradise one as well, just because that one was the one I was also eyeing. I was just really nervous about buying the entire collection because what if I don't like these palettes and then I have an entire collection of 4 eyeshadow palettes I don't enjoy. One of the most unique color schemes I've seen in a palette in a long time. I don't think I've seen like any brands doing this. It's very cool toned, very purple, but like grungy at the same time, and just so unique. I love the color story. I love everything they picked out, the way they laid it out. It just makes so much sense to me. There's some warm tones in here, like Vine is kind of like a neutral tone brown. Dusk is like a warmer tone purple. But I know you guys are more interested in the formula itself, so I will say the mattes are stupendous. They're awesome. They are very powdery. I did demonstrate them in the Get Ready With Me that I use this palette in, and they were like quite powdery. When you dip in, you're getting a bit of powder kick up, and then you have to dust off your brush a bit, but they still blend, and that was the main concern that I have, especially with more powdery shadows, is like, are they gonna blend out well, or are they just gonna turn into patchy mess? And thankfully, even though they are very, very dark, very pigmented, rich shades, they did blend out very well, and they didn't go patchy on me. So that I was really excited to see, especially because purples are infamously hard to formulate and make non-patchy, and they did a really nice job with these ones. My personal favorite shade in here is the shade Shadow. It's just like navy blue, dark violet purple beautifulness. Very unique. I don't have any shades like this in my collection. I also don't have any shades like Stone or Pure. I wasn't a huge fan of the shimmers. They're not my favorite formula. Personally, I liked my shimmers to be like high impact, foiled, very glittery, and these ones are a bit softer, kind of more satiny. So if you do like a softer shimmer shade, these are going to be your thing. But for me, not my favorite, but the entire palette is worth it, especially just for the mattes. And it's $34, so not quite as expensive as some other high-end palettes. The like packaging itself is beautiful. They did an amazing job with the quality in here, and yeah, really, really great palette, really, really great collection. So if you see any palettes from that collection that like catch your eye in terms of color scheme, I would say go for it. As soon as I get my Classical Paradise palette, I will give you guys a review on that one as well, but really, really enjoying Paradise Fallen. Something I was so excited to review for you guys was the OFRA Nikkietutorials collaboration. She came out with 2 new highlighters with OFRA. These are like duochrome colorful ones. So the first one is Space Baby. This is a blue shift. I use these ones again in the Get Ready With Me that I posted last video back. It has this kind of like lavender quality to it as well, so it's kind of like a periwinkle like duochrome beautifulness. Ugh, I'm so bad at describing things. And then Cloud 9 is a pink shift. This is the one I'm wearing today. It's just a pure like beautiful pink I don't even know if you can see it. I'm sorry. I might just be turning my cheekbone so you can see the highlighter. It's very glowy as well, but it has this beautiful like pink like blush pink shift. OFRA highlighters are pretty well known for being one of the most like blinding highlighters that I've ever tried out or just on the market. Their normal highlighters are definitely very, very like glowy, blinding, and bright. I feel like they have a very pigmented kind of icy base, so they show up very metallic on the cheekbones. These are kind of different. They're not quite as like bright on the cheekbones, so they're not like a super blinding glow, but they do have a very pigmented shift. I feel like these will flatter a wider range of skin tones because they don't have that super like pigmented white base to them, so they'll be kind of like a nice shift on the cheekbones, but without like a pigmented white icy base that'll look kind of weird on darker skin tones. While they are a bit more sheer, they are still very, very blinding and just gorgeous on the cheekbones. I think they did a really great job with these ones, and I just like the shift. Also, if you do buy both of them, you can kind of mix them together and get like a lavender shift. So if you're buying 2 highlighters, you're kind of getting 3 in 1, which I think is awesome. So I really enjoy these ones. I think OFRA does an amazing job anyways. And I know some people are over the colorful highlighters thing, but I think these are just really, really well done. And if you're wanting to get one, I would say Cloud9 is a bit more wearable for me because I really like pink tone highlighters, but Space Baby is very unique unlike anything I have in my collection. So both are really good and I really enjoy this collection. All right, I got it. So the Fenty Beauty Diamond Gloss Bomb. I was so excited when I saw this coming out. I love the Gloss Bomb, the original one, so much so that I don't even know where it is right now. I put it in my purse every time I go somewhere, so it's probably floating around somewhere in one of my purses, but I don't know where it is, and that's a sign that I love it. They came out with the Diamond Milk Gloss Bomb, which is just a clear one. The original Gloss Bomb has like a kind of like pink tone to it, the Fenty Glow one, so that one's beautiful. One of the most like versatile lip shades I have, but I was hoping that they would come out with a clear one or just like more shades of the Gloss Bomb because it truly is one of the best formulas. It's not sticky at all. It just glides on very easily. It tastes good. It's just like buttery, smooth, not sticky, and very, very juicy, I guess. They didn't disappoint. This is beautiful. It looks amazing on top of the lips. I will actually insert a clip of me putting it on top of this lip shade right here right now, so you can see how it looks like on my lips. It's just magical in a tube. And the only thing that I have that I would be concerned about is the fact that since it is like more of a clear lip gloss or white, if you're applying it on top of things consistently, it might like turn pink depending on what products you use it over. Like for example, if I applied a clear lip gloss on top of like a pink lipstick, when I dip my like doe-footed applicator back into the lip gloss thing, it might turn the lip gloss pink, which would kind of ruin this beautiful like pristine packaging that it has going on right now. But the good old formula is the same as the original Fenty Gloss Bomb, and it's just so well done. I think they did an amazing job with the formula. I'm super excited about the new Fenty Stunna lip paints. I'm definitely planning on buying all the colors because I love those so much. I'm really glad that Fenty came out with this. I felt like they were kind of dropping off with their releases and coming out with some really whack shit. But now I think they're back. They're doing some awesome things and I'm very, very excited about it. Also planning on getting the highlighter as well. I'll review that at some point. All right, so now I have something that kind of disappointed me this month, and I'm sad to say it because I really do like this brand and I've liked quite a few of the releases that they've been putting out over the past couple months, but this ain't it, sis. So Deck of Scarlet came out with their edition number 10 palette, and I did use this one in the Get Ready With Me. Here it is. This is edition number 10. You're also getting some lip shades in here, but I just wanted to focus on the powders because obviously it's a bit more of like a red toned, neutral, like smoky color scheme, and I've been into this like lately, the whole neutral look. But I felt like this was very, very different quality from what Deck of Scarlet usually puts out. Their edition number 9 palette was one of my favorites. I love the purple color scheme. It was just beautiful, and the blush in there, one of my favorites in my collection. The first thing I noticed was that they feel very, very dry and kind of almost scratchy to the touch. Like the blush in here, not bad. This is probably the best product in the entire palette. It's a decent like red toned blush, very like romantic and just kind of like a cherry toned blush, which I think is really pretty. But the highlighter is where it all started to go downhill. It's a very, very dry highlighter. Got a decent amount of pigmentation to it, and it's a nice like gold tone. It just doesn't look great on the face. It doesn't melt in. It looks powdery and it does look dry. And then the eyeshadows, again, just kind of dry, not the normal quality that Deck of Scarlet usually puts out, or maybe it is the normal quality and just the last 2 palettes I tried out from them were really, really good, but these are just, the shimmer here looks beautiful, looks amazing, but it just doesn't show up as pigmented as it looks in the pan, and just overall, not my favorite. I don't think there's anything wrong with the color selection. In fact, I thought this was a really nice, well thought out color scheme, and they're just not that consistent, amazing quality that I expect, especially because they are a subscription service, so you're expecting the same thing every time they send out a subscription box or every time they send out their bi-monthly thing. They did come out with a liner as well. This is made in Japan, so I'm all about that. And this liner was probably the best thing in the box, like very, very sharp, very precise, super easy to draw nice wings. So the liner is bomb. I would buy this separately if I could, but there's so many liners out there, especially from the drugstore, like NYX Epic Ink Liner, I believe. That one's really good. not good. So Glitter Injections came out with a bunch of these like glitter jellies. They did send me quite a few shades of these. I'm not sure if they have more shades than this on their website, but they have this beautiful like blue shade, You Teal Me. The gold shade, Can't Hold Me Down. No, Can't Mold Me Down. Oh my god, is that a reference to their mold scandal?
That's tea, actually.
Amor de Verano, and finally Feeling Like a Mermaid. So these are like a glitter jelly, as the name would suggest. You can see how like crazy glittery that is. It's very chunky glitter suspended in like kind of a putty jelly texture. Here's the Can't Mold Me Down shade. Here's the pink one, and then finally here is the beautiful blue one. I'm gonna use this one for demonstration. It's like a putty jelly texture and very like, you can push it around, it's liquidy and it's kind of suspended in a jelly texture, but when you put it onto your eyes, it's this beautiful like chunky glitter paste. I've been using these in recent looks and I just love how pigmented and beautiful they show up on the eyes. They do crease eventually over time, as most glitters do. I haven't really found any like liquid glitter like this one that doesn't crease throughout the day. Even some loose glitters, especially chunky ones, can kind of crease and move around throughout the day. I would say these stay in place like for maybe 3 to 4 hours, and then you have to reapply them a bit, but they are very easy to apply, and I find that they're just like super easy to work with. They are a bit inconsistent in terms of texture. Gold one, it's like a bit drier, not quite as like soft and goopy, and a lot more pigmented. So that being said, look at how pretty that is. I just have this beautiful like chunky texture to them where they bring a lot of light to the eyes and just kind of take everything to the next level. So I love glitter. This has kind of reminded me of why I love glitter, and they're very, very good. Something I am concerned about is the fact that because they're a bit of like a liquidy gel texture, they might dry out or they might expire. I'll keep you guys updated on how these like last, because I've only been playing with these for like the month, but hopefully these will stay beautiful because they are really, really gorgeous. Something else that I showed you guys this month was the Joy Lorraine Cosmetics Paradise 18 color eyeshadow palette. Again, I've mentioned many times that I'm planning on doing a video just compiling a bunch of really nice indie eyeshadow brands and giving you guys my reviews on different formulas, because I feel like indie brands do really, really amazing quality eyeshadows, but they don't get anywhere near enough recognition. So I wanted to kind of do a video consolidating a bunch of indie brands, and this is for that video. But Joy Lorraine Cosmetics wanted to send me this one to review for you guys, so I was super happy because they are an amazing brand. They're Black owned, so I love supporting really great diverse brands in the beauty industry. And something about Black owned beauty brands is that they do really, really great colorful eyeshadows, because they have to make eyeshadows that are going to show up really well and very pigmented on all skin types, but also not look like chalky or ashy. The same is true with like Juvia's Place and Colored Rain. They do really, really great colorful eyeshadows because they are focused towards that audience. I think this palette is really, really nice. I do like the mattes a lot more than the shimmers. Just generally though, I do tend to focus more on matte formulas when I'm reviewing an eyeshadow palette, just because mattes, harder to formulate. Shimmers, it's not that hard. You can just kind of throw some dimethicone in there and it's like beautiful buttery smoothness. Mattes are harder and just trickier, especially if you're playing with different colors. But, I'll show you guys the purple in here because purples are harder to formulate. Also show you guys the pink. Awesome. And then, ooh, maybe the green. Yeah. These are just really, really beautiful, very, oops, I already swatched the pink one. Really, really beautiful, very vibrant and pigmented. And it looks on the outside just like a normal rainbow palette. You're getting pretty much every shade in the rainbow, but you're also getting some very fun, kind of like tropical and unique takes on different colors. Like this lime green up here, I don't have any shades like this in my collection. The yellow down here, it just looks like a normal yellow, but it's more of like a tropical, bright, like canary yellow. I think it's really pretty. The mattes you can see perform very beautifully. They're very pigmented, but they do blend very well. The shimmers, decent. Overall, really great colorful eyeshadows. I would say this is like the same quality as Juvia's Place, but you're getting, again, huge pans, really great quality shadows, and just awesome color theory. So I'm very happy with this one, and it's probably one of the top palettes I've tried out in the indie series. So here is one of the like worst things I've tried out in a long time, and that pains me to say, but the Pure Cosmetics Shake and Bake Powder to Cream Under Eye Concealer. I've seen a few reviews on this one, just kind of testing it out because it's kind of a unique gimmicky concept. It's a powder concealer that turns into creams. The first problem I have is with the shade range. They have like 4 shades of this, and that is not enough for concealer, especially because, you know, concealer or any complexion product, you need a nice wide variety, especially if you're going to be fine-tuning it to your actual skin tone. So I have the shade Light. I thought this would be fine for me, but obviously it's like a bit substantially darker than my actual skin tone. With brands, you don't just need like a wide variety of skin tones, you also need a wide variety of undertones. And this is very peachy. It kind of, I guess it did nice for color correcting, but my undertones in my skin are not actually peachy. And it just didn't really look nice on the under eyes. It looked dry, kind of cakey, not super seamless, not really the best. So yeah, I just felt like this was kind of all gimmick and it didn't really deliver on quality. Also, the packaging itself, plastic, and it's just not the nicest. So yeah, not a huge fan of this one. I was kind of disappointed, but honestly, was I expecting a ton? Yeah, actually I was. So not my favorite thing and probably the worst thing I tried this month. This month I tried out the Physicians Formula Butter Highlighter and I was really excited about this one. I do love the butter bronzer a lot, so I was excited about this. It doesn't have that same extremely potent smell that the butter bronzer does. I felt like this one smelled, dare I say, better, because it's not quite as strong and artificial, but it still smells like coconut a tiny bit. This is very interesting to me because it is definitely a cream highlighter. The butter bronzer, it's kind of like a creamy powder. It's not quite creamy, but it's not like fully dry either. It's a very buttery bronzer, as the name would freaking imply. But this is a true cream. So when I first applied it with a brush, it moved around my foundation like there was nothing else for it to do. It was just like, bam, foundation, gone, bye. So that was really sad. But then I figured out the best way to apply this one is with your finger. Honestly, it's like one of the most bright, blinding, should I apply it?
How about I do anyway?
Yeah, why not? Beautiful highlighters. It's so natural as well because it is more of a cream texture. So I feel like it just kind of melds into the skin and looks really beautiful. Very blinding and very glowy, but also natural in the cheekbones. So I have the shade Pearl. This is the best one for me because I am very fair, of course, but they do have quite a few shades. And just overall, if you're wanting a very nice natural, like creamy highlighter that looks blinding but also doesn't look like powdery in the face, I think this is a really awesome option. And for $13, it's expensive for drugstore, but not expensive in the grand scheme of things, and just really beautiful. Finally, I tried out the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder this month, and I used this one in the last Get Ready With Me again. And someone informed me that it wasn't a new product, that it's actually something that's existed in Europe for a while, but they just rolled it out in the US. So I was excited to try this one out. But for $5, I would say if you're wanting something that's gonna kind of give you that highlighted effect on the under eyes, this could be a really great option for you. I don't think it would work on anyone darker than like NC 35. They do have a Brighten Up Peach powder, so if you are of a darker skin tone, that one could work for you as well. Haven't tried it out because it is darker than my actual complexion, so probably wouldn't work on me, but this is a really nice brightening powder, just really nice and consistent quality, and I think Essence does some of the best products at the drugstore, so one of my favorite products I've tried as well. Alright guys, that concludes my new makeup releases, favorites and fails for the month of September. I had a lot of fun trying out these products, and overall I think it was a good month for makeup. The beauty community is still in shambles, but we're trying. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed down below, and also make sure you're following me on Instagram, my public account, not my private, at Julia C. Mazzucato, and I would be so happy to have you there. But yeah, if you made it to the very end of this video, I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your love and support in the month of September. I love you guys. Bye.